Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Steve Reid from Steve Reid Tourism. We're here in Scotland and East Lothian. We'll be visiting Haddington, Dunbar and North Berwick on a road trip to help you plan your tours. For our first stop, here we are in the Royal Borough of Haddington in East Lothian. We're in a secret garden. It's the St Mary's Pleasance Garden in Haddington itself. And Haddington has excellent facilities for visitors. We've got accommodation, we've got eateries, we've got shopping, and we've got some great attractions as well. East Lothian is a blooming great choice for groups. I'm here at Amisfield Walled Garden.
I'm Alistair, I'm the volunteer coordinator at Amisfield Walled Gardens. It's a very beautiful place, it's very peaceful, very relaxing. There's plenty of space to sit down, have lunch, have a picnic. There's lots of things to see. We've got an orchard, we've got a wild meadow, we've got a couple of ponds, herbaceous borders, got a lovely new greenhouse, lots of stuff to see. There's plenty of space for parking as well. It's absolutely free to get in, but we do encourage people to give us donations.
Tourism is really taking off here at the National Museum of Flight. It's a fantastic place for groups, so much to see and do, and now I'm going to have a look myself.
I'm Steve McLean, I'm the General Manager at the National Museum of Flight here in East Lothian near East Fortune. We house the National Aviation Collection, so we have right behind you, of course, the biggest object in the collection is Concorde, and you can board Concorde. We divide it up into sort of passenger airliners, civilian aircraft and military aircraft. But the site is also interesting because it's based on an historic airfield. So it's not just the aircraft that we've got, we've also got all the historic buildings and the history of the site itself. We sometimes do tours. If you contact the museum and find out if there's a tour on, or we can arrange a tour if you're a group. There's a cafe, a really nice cafe that does hot food, and there's a shop as well.
What trip to Scotland would be complete without a visit to a distillery? So here we are at the lowland home of Johnny Walker. I'm here at the Glenkinchie Distillery with Mary Jane. Tell me about the distillery.
We're here now at Glenkinchie Distillery just outside Pencaitland in East Lothian. The distillery was founded as long ago as 1837, so we've been producing whisky for a long time here.
I can see you've done a lot of work here. Can you tell me about the renovations?
We actually relaunched in 2020 as the lowland home of Johnny Walker, and that was after a lot of work on the site, particularly in the visitor centre.
You mentioned to me before that you have two main options for groups, is that right?
Sure, well, one of the options we offer is an exclusive tour where a group of people can come along and they can do a tour of the distillery and have an amazing tasting at the end of that. And the second option actually happens right here where we're standing or sitting. This is the amazing new bar here at Glenkinchie, and here we offer a tasting experience.
So how do tour planners inquire or make a booking?
To make an inquiry at Glenkinchie, it's just a simple case of emailing the distillery at glenkinchie@malts.com.
Next stop on our road trip, we're in North Berwick. It's got everything. It's got accommodation, attractions, restaurants, you name it, and it's got two beautiful beaches. I'm here at the Nether Abbey Hotel in North Berwick with Sterling Stewart. Sterling, tell me about your hotel.
The Nether Abbey is all about the welcome and is all about hospitality and looking after our customers. We have 12 fantastic bedrooms, a great bar, and the food that we serve is all made by ourselves, and we use all our local suppliers to put the best that East Lothian and the Firth of Forth has to offer on the plate so that people can enjoy it.
I'm Kevin, and this is the Scottish Seabird Centre. We are a conservation and education charity here in North Berwick in East Lothian. When you're here at the Seabird Centre, we've got lots for you to do. We've got boat tours which go from the harbour, which you can book from our website, or you can go here into our boat office. On the Isle of May trip, you can actually get off the boat and wander around and be surrounded by the UK's largest ternary and over 45,000 puffins. So it's a fantastic trip. We have a visitor experience for you where you can actually control the cameras that we have on each of these islands, which is a unique experience. If you're coming here as a group, we're able to take a large capacity of people into the visitor experience down the stairs, and the cafe's got a lovely open view. You can come here as a group and get involved in some of our conservation effort. We can do guided walks for you, wildlife walks, and also, if you fancy, you can help out by doing some beach clean with one of our conservation officers.
East Lothian is a great place for groups, whether it's holidays, day excursions, or even a great night out. Here we are at Dirleton Castle, and I'm with Andrew. Hello, Andrew.
Hello there.
Tell me about the castles.
Well, here at Dirleton was built by the Anglo-Norman Defoe family, but unfortunately it was thrown down by Robert the Bruce. So because the castle became a ruin, a new house was built over at Archerfield, and it's the two walled gardens have become sort of more famous than the actual ruined castle itself.
Tell me about your tours, Andrew.
Well, for pre-booked groups, what I do is a walking tour around the castle itself. After having walked around the site itself, I do what's called man-at-arms talks, and we do them down in the garden. And the gardens themselves are beautiful because we have the arts and crafts garden, and we've got the formal Victorian garden that's off on the west side there.
How do tour planners book a tour?
Basically by phoning the site directly, or they can email me directly to pre-book.
If you're looking for a smashing coach stop, here's the place to consider. It's called the Mary Hatton Garden Centre. We would recommend it. It's got great food, it's got excellent shopping, it's very relaxing being here, and of course they also look after the all-important coach driver. Last stop on our road trip, we'll be visiting Dunbar. We've got lots to see and do, attractions, culture, history, but now we're going to look at some accommodation. I'm here with Philip Mellor of the Dunmuir Hotel in Dunbar. Philip, tell me a little bit about the general accommodation offer across East Lothian as a whole and also in Dunbar.
You're absolutely spoilt for choice with accommodation in East Lothian. You've got some large hotels, right down to your smaller family businesses. So you're going to get that, really one-to-one service of a family person that's going to look after you from the moment you arrive to the moment you depart. And then you've got ourselves, a 3-star award-winning family hotel with 24 bedrooms. We've got from standard rooms all the way up to deluxe rooms. So we can cater for group requirements where they want something a little bit special, but they also just are working to a budget, and we can help with that.
My name's Jo Moulin, and I'm the museum officer responsible for the museums in Dunbar. When you come to John Muir's birthplace, it's a very modest high street tenement, and it looks kind of insignificant from the outside. John Muir's known as many things, but mostly as the founder of the conservation movement or father of the national parks over in the United States. We've dropped an interpretive tower into the building, and that takes you on a journey from John Muir's boyhood on the ground floor, emigration story to America when he was 10 years old, his life and work on the middle floor, and then on the top floor above me we look at his legacy, so his key achievements in his life, but also the relevance of his legacy today, which is becoming increasingly important with climate challenge. Dunbar Townhouse Museum and Gallery has its original council chamber on the top floor, which was the longest running council chamber in Scotland, and we tell some of the story of the kind of civic history. But then we also have a couple of gallery spaces. Both our museums on Dunbar High Street are fully accessible. There's lots of venues on the High Street that can provide catering, so numerous different cafes and restaurants that can cater for different tastes.
I'm Stephen from Belhaven Brewery. We brew Scotland's #1 ale, Belhaven Best. We also brew Scotland's #1 stout, Belhaven Black. And we've just picked up some gold awards for our Discovery range, which are classic Scottish beers. We've opened up our tours this year. It's an experience. It allows you to get into beer making, understand about the history of our beers and Scottish beers in particular. We'll tell you what makes our beers so different from English beers. You'll get a sense of, you'll be able to smell the ingredients, taste the ingredients, as well as understanding the process. And of course, it wouldn't be a brewery tour without ending in our bar, the Monk's Retreat, to actually taste the beers.
I'm Barry, I'm Senior Park Manager at East Links Family Park. You can find lots of things for all ages, covering from 0 to 100. We've got the whole park is accessible. So we've got the Fortress, we've got Crazy Golf, we have animals, safari train ride, trampolines, go-karts of all sizes, an excellent cafe on site catering for all sizes of groups. My favourite part is the animals, getting up to see the animals. You can hand feed them, they are very gentle and very friendly. Groups can come and visit, we have excellent parking, we have free parking outside for coaches. They can come, they can do whatever they want throughout the day, they can spread out, then they can all gather together and enjoy their lunch and just have a brilliant day.
This is the last stop on our East Lothian road trip, and I'm here at Preston Mill with Fraser. Fraser, what is the visitor experience here?
Well, it's the opportunity to see something unique. Preston Mill was the last working water mill in the Lothians. It's a 16th century mill building, as well as being such an unusual historical entity. It's also an outlander location, so we get a lot of visitors coming who are fans of the TV show.
And why is this good for groups?
Well, there are guided tours inside the mill, so if you want to learn about industrial history and history of farming in the Lothians, you can do that. A lot of people come just to admire the buildings, a lot of artists come to visit, and so there's space to walk around, and it's a nice place to relax and enjoy nature.
Sadly, we've come to the end of this road trip movie to East Lothian. I'd like to thank all of the partners involved in making it such a wonderful experience. If you want any more information, please contact Visit East Lothian.